Hey guys, what's up? It's Matt Lane and welcome to a Let's Play of Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice. It's been quite a while since I have done a Let's Play. A very long time. And for good reason. I'm crazy busy and I really shouldn't be doing this. But here we are. Because I really wanted to play this game and have a few people that want to watch it, so we're going to do a Let's Play. So, there's that. I attempted to record 1.5 episodes before something went terribly wrong and just the gameplay audio got corrupted, which is like everything else was fine, but the gameplay audio went to crap. So I'm gonna have to start over. So I've seen some of the very introductory stuff, but that's about it. So we're gonna go ahead and start a new game. I'm just gonna ask if you're okay with that, because all previous game will be overwritten. Yes, because we want to have all of it on the screen. So without further ado, we're about to start. Let it be known now that this game is very cinematic in a lot of ways. So if you are here to watch a game to where I'm going to be talking a lot, this is the wrong game. Because there's a lot of ambience and different things constantly happening that is really going to throw off commentary. It's not that I'm never going to be talking, but there's going to be a lot of times where I have to stop and really pay attention to what's going on, especially in the introductory. There's a long intro that will have little to none of me talking, so just be aware of what we're about to jump into. The majority of this first episode, I will not be talking, save for this intro right here. So this is Hellblade, and let's get started.
Hello. Who are you? Doesn't matter. Welcome. You are safe with me. I'll be right here, nice and close so I can speak without alerting the others. Let me tell you about Senua. Her story has already come to an end, but now it begins anew.
What's happening? It's breathing. Dead. It's breathing. It's breathing. He knows she's getting closer. He can feel her coming closer. She's getting closer. They're watching. They're watching. They're watching. They're watching.
This is a journey deep into darkness. There will be no more stories after this one.
What is she doing? Why is she doing this? They're watching. Why doesn't she turn coming? She's doing this for him. She wants to rescue him. He's already dead. I can feel you coming. Quiet.
Oh, how rude of me. I never told you of the others. You hear them too, right? They've been around ever since the tragedy. Well, that's not quite true. Some are old, some are new, but they've changed. I think the darkness changed them, just like it changed her.
Can you see them? Over there. Why isn't she looking? Why aren't you looking? He's in Helheim.
Look, up ahead. You see it too?
You promised you gave me.
Yes. It is real after all. She's finally arrived in the land of mist and fog. The place the Northmen call Hell.
Turn back. Go back. Go back. It's not safe. Go back. Go back. Go back. Go back. It's not safe.
It's there. They're here.
Can you see that? Can you see them? Can you see them? They're going to do that to you. They're watching. Stop. Can you feel them watching? They're watching her. They're watching her. You're so close to the darkness. Go back. Can you feel it?
What is she thinking? I can tell you. She's afraid. Wouldn't you be? You'd think she would get used to it by now after so many years. But the darkness, it just builds onto itself, growing stronger, towering over her. You might try and ignore it. Turn away. It's always there, just out of sight, where you're most vulnerable. It's like it knows that just enough light is all you need to see its suffocating power.
They can feel you.
You might think she's brave to go on this journey on her own, but it isn't bravery that drives her. Bravery only means something to those afraid of death. Senua's fear runs far, far deeper. What is she looking at? What is she leaving behind? I know what she's thinking. I hear her thoughts. It's not too late to get into the boat and go back. No one will judge her. No one will ever know. Oh, she heard us.
There's no going back. You can't do it.
Senua pushes away a world that conspired to cause so much suffering. There's nothing to go back to, and worse to look forward to. Why don't you join us? Maybe you too have a part to play in this story.
Okay, so that was the majority of the intro, but it's not over yet. So, not a lot. There's more dialogue about to happen, so we'll let it continue on.
Use your eyes. Use your eyes. Come closer.
Do not forget my story, Senua. Because your darkness comes from hell, and your fate lies there. They say the burning of a corpse will take you straight into Hela's gate, but gods and the living will follow this path. You must leave the Isles of Orkney across the eastern sea and find a road that leads north and down through deep, dark valleys. After 9 nights of riding, you will follow a great river and will find a bridge covered in gold. The path to Helheim goes from there, across the river of knives that flows from the dark world of Niflheim.
Those things are throughout the map a pretty good bit from the little bit I played, and the dialogue is long, but if you walk too far away from them, it gets interrupted by other stuff.
hungers. Like a pack of wolves in a hunt. But she's not stopping. Not this time.
Can you see?
That's such a beautiful cut of
The land of mist and fog.
change of scenery.
He's in there.
The old fool was right.
You see him?
What was it he said? The river of knives across which lies the halls of hell. The place they call Helheim.
He's lost. He's lost.
Where are you? I hear you.
He's there. You know it.
There's no doubt about
He's
it.
lost.
The source of the darkness is in Helheim,
They're
and the goddess Hela holds his soul there. Her dear beloved, Dillian.
So that is more or less the intro, if you will, before more of the gameplay starts getting introduced. If you are going to play this game and or even watch this game in a legit fashion, like you're not watching this as something to listen to in the background, I really implore you to do it with headphones, because the ambience of this game is just, it's insane, it's beautiful, it really messes with you. Like, these voices are all over the place, and you're going to be hearing them constantly, and it's changing, and you feel stuff in front of you, behind you. You know, it really embraces the surround sound effect.
His soul still lives.
Kind of walk around, let y'all get a
She needs to
glimpse
save
of the
his
world.
soul. She wants his soul to be at peace.
Ooh, excuse me. And it's such a beautiful change of contrast from
He's
dark to
already
light
dead.
whenever
She
that
can save him. There's
transition
nothing she
happened.
can do. She's going to save him.
The bridge to Helheim. I forget its name. She forgets too. But she does remember that only the dead may cross it. That part wasn't so easy to forget. The old fool said there was a hidden path up to it. Let's see, shall we?
The Northmen speak of 9 worlds. The world of men they call Midgard. Sky gods dwell in Asgard. The gods of earth, harvest, wind, and sea dwell in Vanaheim. The good elves dwell in Alfheim. The evil ones dwell in Svartalfheim. The mountain giants dwell in Jotunheim. The fire giants dwell in Muspelheim. Niflheim is the world of ice and darkness. Only the dead dwell in Helheim, and that is where you must travel.
Yeah, so
You're in danger.
there's very little moments where you're not hearing some sort of dialogue around you, which is by far one of the more interesting aspects of this game. It's so hard to
Why did she do that?
concentrate and have coherent thoughts with all this stuff going around in your head.
The hidden path.
Gosh, I hate that the first file corrupted, because this was such a funny moment of what the heck is going on. Because when you first run into this seems rather ambiguous and, I don't want to say scary, but unsettling, of like, okay, something bad about to happen, because this game gives no direction of any kind. It doesn't tell you controls, it doesn't give suggestions on what to do. It'll tell you an aspect of gameplay later that is a very unfortunate and difficult one, but that's about it. So this was very concerning the first time. It's not now, because I know what it is. I hate that happened, but it is what it is, I suppose. touch it. It's,
Don't kill me. I'm not one of them. Don't listen. I was just hiding. I find I live longer that way. Don't listen. I'll never let the bastards catch me again. Never! Wait. Who are you?
It's just a memory.
Druth? Is that you?
Around you now.
For my tales of the Northmen, they call me Druth. A liar.
He's lost.
An old fool. Druth is my truth.
It's good to see you again. You kept your vow.
Guide you in this life and the next. I will tell you my stories of hell, if I may walk with you.
Tell me your stories again, old friend. I'm listening.
The runes seal the gates to hell. Focus your inner eye, and you too will see what's hidden in plain sight.
You have to take a closer look to see. Why isn't she focusing? She needs to focus now.
I can see one.
Hold it in your mind's eye. Find one like it to open the gate.
fortunately, I now already know.
It's near. Look towards the
I
gate.
just did. Okay.
And the gate.
Oh, never mind. I can see. Yeah, that took a second the first time, because again, no direction. So you're like,
Go through it. It's dangerous.
what do I do with this?
It worked.
And it's very unsettling because of thinking that, okay, this is what we call an introductory puzzle, meaning that it's just kind of showing you the
I watched
mechanics of what's going to be happening
them
later.
learn their ways
And of course, they will presumably make it
You
far
listen.
more difficult.
when everyone else laughed. My people paid the heavy price. Carry my stories with you, and together we will make the Northmen feel our fury.
There's one ledge later
Another
that
voice
I
joins
think
us.
you can actually fall off of. The rest of this is
She was trying
scripted
to make them go away.
and semi-automatic,
They aren't real.
aside from moving.
What is that? When we are
There's one
always here.
coming up that I think we might be able to fall off of, because I came really close last time. I thought it might have been
I guess it's
scripted,
the same with
we're
heights.
about to find out.
You can stand on the edge, pretend it's going to be okay. But you know that death is near, waiting for you to make that little slip.
Heck you can.
You can't just...
Okay. So you can fall. Now we know. Well, I wanted to test that, and I did. The problem is I don't really know. It's very interesting because last time all I did was just, okay, let me just, you can't angle it anyway, so I'm not really sure what's triggering it now.
Don't fall. Don't fall. Don't fall.
Gee, thanks. I'm not sure because you can't control the camera angle, so I didn't really figure out what is dictating what makes you move one way or the other there.
The world of the dead is ruled by the giantess, Hela, daughter of Loki. The
least they
gods
got it right.
feared her bloodline, bad on her mother's side,
Looking at you,
yet
Thor
much
Ragnarok.
worse on her father's. So, as a child, the All-Father cast her down into Helheim and gave her power over those who die of sickness, age, hardship, and self-slaughter. In all of the 9 worlds, only Hela can resurrect the dead. To Hela, your Dillion, was sacrificed. And with her, you must bargain.
See, his voice kind of faded as I got too far away from it.
Stay back. Look at it. You have to open it.
The gate to Helheim divides the living from the dead. Is that the face of Hela herself? The half-rotten goddess that rules over Helheim. Whatever horrors lie behind that door, she must find him. Shh. Someone's here. I'll give you what you want. I won't resist anymore. Just give him back.
Here we have the first introduction to combat without any sort of instructions whatsoever. Luckily, it's incredibly smooth and I love it.
He's down. Finish it.
Bring it. Bet I can't actually hit these. I know better this time, so I'll just let them have at it. Last time I tried to fight them, but I realized that was scripted, so I survived for like a really long time last time. And finally realized, yeah, that's not supposed to happen. I'm supposed to die here. Now I become super, super dead. There I go.
A vision of what's to come. Poor Senua. The darkness does not bargain. It does not reason. It is rot. And now it has taken hold. It will spread towards her head, the seat of the soul, until there is nothing left of her. All of her suffering will have been for nothing. It's just a matter of time.
here we are introduced to an apparent game mechanic that is going to make this game incredibly difficult and frustrating and scary, because basically every time we die we grow closer and closer to potentially losing the game in a permanent sense, to where like once it's done,
The
it's
hardest
done
battles are fought in the
and
mind.
you just have to start over apparently.
That is what Dillian taught her.
Now I don't know, because I've never
With
played it
every
all the way through,
defeat,
so I don't know if that bar
dark
is
rot will
incredibly
grow,
high
and
of
soon it
how
will
many
take
times
her
you can die
soul.
before something like that happens. But the factor of that thought just looming over you does make it a little unsettling.
But for now, at least, she still has control of her mind. And she will fulfill her vow. Whatever the cost.
He's not right.
Listen to me, Senua. The goddess Hela lies behind the gate to Helheim. To open the gate, you must first face the gods that guard it. The god of fire, Surt, and the god of illusion, Valravn. Spill their blood to open the gate to Helheim and enter the land of the dead.
Enter the land of the dead.
To his soul. It won't open. How will she get through? Why won't it open? Why can't she?
This is
She needs
just
to
that,
challenge
or
the gods.
The Northmen say that in the beginning there was nothing but darkness. Bitter cold to the north, fiery hot to the south. They say the cold formed ice, which melted from the sparks from the south. The power of the darkness gave life to the dripping ice, and the first giant was born, and was named Ymir. The ice continued to drip, and the power of the void gave life to it, and it became a cow whose milk fed the giant. That's right, a cow. Bet you weren't expecting that.
I love that in spite of the dark overtones of the game, that they find a way to insert a little bit of humor in here. So we are going to go to Valravn first, because why not? It's red. It's on the left. That's what matters.
Valravn, ancestor of the seers and master of ravens. He hunts his prey with his powers of illusion and feasts on their remains. Follow the path to Valravn and defeat him in battle to earn his mark. The gate to Helheim cannot be opened without it.
So I don't know. I've been told this game is rather short. I don't know if there's literally only 3 bosses, because I know you're saying defeat Valravn and Surtur, and then you go to Hela. So like, if it's literally just those 3, then indeed this game would, in theory, be incredibly short. But it's beautiful. It's so neat. The atmosphere that they have built for this world is incredible, with the amount of voices and ambience of the game going on all around you. It's just a very creative way to deliver this sort of story that they have built.
Ymir was a frost giant, a being of darkness, and all his sons and grandsons were dark after him. Of his daughters and granddaughters, some were monstrous, but others fair. But there was another who came from the ice. Buri. In shape, he was like a man, big and powerful. His son, Bor, took a fair giant to be his wife, and they had 3 sons. Odin was the eldest, and the Northmen hold him to be the foremost of the gods, the Old Father.
There you have it, the origin of Odin. The combat of this game is actually very, very smooth. I really enjoyed it. The little bit I got to play of the first go round. I'm hoping to get to do a lot more of it. You cannot do any sort of combat unless the game wants you to. So right now I can't pull my sword out of its sheath even if I wanted to. Alright, so this is where they introduce the first puzzle of the game.
Illusion hides the path to Valravn. Don't trust your eyes. Find another way to see the truth.
And we're gonna go over here and drop this here bridge.
It's a door. Push it. Push it. Push it. She did it.
You see, concrete wall, no longer concrete wall, no longer. So if we walk through here, it's just magically gone. Again, introductory puzzle. I have a feeling these are going to get
Behind the veil, don't we?
way worse.
Once we do, we mostly just close our eyes again and pretend what we saw was never really there.
It just got really dark.
Senua never could close her eyes, however hard she tried, begged. This is the price she pays for seeing things differently. Because once you gaze into the relentless darkness, all that lurks within it.
I know there's a fight coming. Just let
See
it
you
happen.
too.
I've already done it. This door will not open. It's just then a leaf tried to attack me through the screen. Ah, too early. Yeah, too early.
It's nearly over. Finish it.
There we go.
He's gone. They're overwhelming.
See, what they don't know is that I'm well versed in
The Northmen will
the
not
Souls
stop.
game, so parrying
She will find.
is my jam. Especially, I learned from Bloodborne how to parry very fast, so we will be seeing a lot of parrying. Just so you know, as a fair warning, it's gonna be happening a lot. Uno mas puzzle.
Valravn's power of illusion comes from ravens. Align the ravens to break his magic seal.
Show
Hole
me
in the
you
wall.
have seen truth.
I already know that these are presumably going to get really tough to solve over time. They're not bad right now, but we'll get there.
Something's shifted. Something's happened. Something's shifted. Can you feel it?
No, I can't really feel it, but... Wait, what? Oh. It wouldn't give me a problem opening the door. I got confused there for a second.
Do you feel it too? It's like crossing into another world that looks the same but feels different. An imposter world where the forest itself is watching.
It's not creepy or ominous at all. Okay, so that's going to be it for episode 1. Thank you guys for stopping by and watching our first intro episode into Hellblade. It's going to be an interesting one. It's a very cool game, and really shortly after the beginning of the next episode, we'll be back to the point of where I was when the audio files got corrupted, and it'll be completely blind from there, so it will be a little more fun to watch, hopefully. But again, this is very similar to what the game is, and I just now noticed there is an eye on that tree right there. Everybody else seeing this? Yep. Okay, there's multiple eyes on up. Well, okay. So, on that note, we will see you guys on the next episode.